This week on GamePron News, as Call of Duty Black Ops prepares for launch, we get the unsurprising news that we'll be seeing an 8th edition of the game late next year too. Epic Games takes the wraps off of their Project Sword, a couple of Aussies make it as finalists at Independent Games Festival China, Red Dead Redemption tests your vocabulary, StarCraft II gamers get a free name change, and we discover just how you can play classic text adventure Zork on a typewriter. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. This week, Activision Blizzard released their earnings for Q3 2010, announcing that things were better than expected, with the company seeing a $51 million quarterly profit. Bobby Kotick, CEO of the company, was understandably a bit chuffed, explaining that the growth was due to their leadership in online entertainment, mentioning Call of Duty, World of Warcraft and StarCraft II being big reasons behind the result. Chief Operating Officer Thomas Tipple also confirmed something we've been suspecting for a while: there will be a new Call of Duty next year, and it will be a first-person shooter. No official titles have been mentioned yet, of course, but the general consensus is that it's probably Modern Warfare 3, which is rumoured to still be in development at Infinity Ward despite the drama that hit the studios earlier this year. Then again, might not be. We do know that next year's release will not be the other Call of Duty game that's being bandied about, the one that's in development at Sledgehammer Games. Activision have mumbled something about that game taking the series into the third-person action-adventure genre, but later job listings have suggested it could also feature first-person elements. Time will tell. In other news, Epic Games have finally unsheathed Project Sword, the first game to bring the Unreal Engine to the iPhone, iPad and iPod Touch. Its real non-code name is Infinity Blade, and it's being created by Salt Lake City-based developers Chair. We've only really seen still images from Infinity Blade at this point, but the graphics look pretty intense. You could even say they're a bit epic. In the game, you play as a knight wandering around a fully 3D castle, battling it out with all sorts of monsters. We're promised an intuitive combat interface, so I'm expecting more than a little bit of swiping action. Like with most of these action RPG type games, the more you play Infinity Blade, the more experience you'll gain, the more stats you'll build up, and more powerful items you'll acquire, all the better to help you defeat the game's final nemesis, the God King. The best part of this news, you won't have to wait long. Infinity Blade is on track to be released to eager gamers this holiday season. The finalists for the second annual Independent Games Festival China have been named, including a couple of familiar Aussie faces sneaking into the mix. Congratulations to both Alexander Bruce with Hazard: The Journey of Life and the Voxel Agents Train Conductor 2 for making it into the top handful of games. There are prizes, of course, including all access passes to GDC in San Francisco, as well as more than $9,000 in cash. 7 games are competing for the big title, with an additional 5 duking it out in the student competition. The judges are looking for skills in art direction, technical excellence and visual arts, and there's even a mobile category for the games you can play on the bus. The festival is a sort of sister celebration to the annual Independent Games Festival held in San Francisco, and this year the competition drew entries from all around the region: China, South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, Iran, India, Australia and New Zealand. Not bad for an event that's only in its second year. Now, Rockstar Games are known for many things, but being educational isn't really something they're generally associated with. That could all be about to change, with gamer Mr. Unique discovering that Red Dead Redemption is actually pretty darn handy when looking to expand one's vocabulary. Most of the difficult words in the game are spoken by the eloquent Nigel West Dickens, whose use of Bacchanalian sparked Mr. Unique's train of thought. Other characters are featured too, though, including Bill Williamson's Implore, John Marston's Unscrupulous, and Bonnie McFarlane's use of the SAT favourite Enigmatic, which means mysterious or perplexing. It's lovely to see a game's dialogue being picked up due to its quality, rather than just breaking another world record for the amount of times the characters can swear. Blizzard are getting really good at this delivering promises thing. When StarCraft II launched back in July, a whole bunch of gamers got a bit confused and created accounts for the game using names that didn't represent the name they'd normally use in multiplayer. More than a handful signed up with their real name too, which has made things just a tad awkward at times. Fortunately, Blizzard recognised the problem and reassured gamers they'd be given the chance to change their game names, just once, for free. It's been a few months, but that day has finally come, and mislabelled gamers simply have to log into Battle.net, choose a new name, click a button or two, and off you go. A couple of World of Warcraft developers kept their promise to a young man earlier this week too. BlizzCon attendees may well remember Red Shirt Guy, who's now a bit of an internet celebrity thanks to an awkwardly phrased question that pointed out a glaring error in Cataclysm lore. Lead world designer Alex Afrasiabi and storyline rock star Chris Metzen seemed to laugh it off, telling the audience that they'd get that fixed. Well, turns out they did. Good and proper. When World of Warcraft Cataclysm is released in December, visitors to Ironforge's throne room will see Falstad Wildhammer seated on the Council of Three Hammers and not his brother Kurdran, with an NPC known as Wildhammer Fact Checker by his side, dressed in a unique red shirt. And finally, Zork has made it to yet another platform. Originally developed for the Apple II, Commodore 64, the IBM PC and other popular machines that were floating around in the very early 80s, it's since been ported and adapted into modern PCs and even made it into Amazon's Kindle e-reader earlier in the year. This week though, we found another way to play Zork on a typewriter. Of course, it's not your usual keyboard, you'll need an Automa typewriter like the one being created by Jonathan M. Guberman. He's rigged an old Smith Corona up to a collection of electronics, an Arduino and a PC, and now it can read and respond to what is typed. The project has been developed to work with specific software, but it didn't take too much to get it to play Zork, outputting descriptions to paper rather than a screen and reacting to instructions typed in the usual way. In this world where everything is made to be slicker, faster, more shiny, it's wonderful to see that some people are taking a step back and making things that are just plain cool. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen and this is GamePron News.